Well, I have to hand it to whoever built this place. All this equipment looks brand new and in good repair.
Let's hope the Enterprise looks this good when it's this old.
We should be very careful about how we proceed, Captain. I have a strange feeling that evil is lurking nearby.
Evil, Ensign?
Something that wants to imperil our souls, sir. We must avoid that at all costs.
A DNA synthesizer and replicator. This is one of the most advanced genetic facilities I have ever seen. How unusual.
How so, Spock?
Even visitors to this planet would leave behind a substantial number of artifacts. Sending only a genetics lab does not fit established archaeological patterns.
I haven't seen equipment like this since I interned on Talara. Such equipment. In such a place.
Interesting equipment we have here.
You know, a person could do serious research with a device like this. What an odd piece of equipment to find in a place like this.
Nothing to report, Captain. Are you ready to be beamed aboard?
Tourist season's not over, Lieutenant.
So when do we get shore leave, Captain?
Lieutenant, if I scheduled shore leave down on this planet, I'd be the most unpopular captain in the Starfleet. Kirk out.
This appears to be a patch of rust and dust that has accumulated on the machine's surface.
If not for a thin covering of red dust, you would assume this DNA replicator had just been unboxed and set up. Aside from minor differences in styling, this looks remarkably like a Tellarite 8000 DNA sequencer.
There are life form readings just to the east and west of this room. This DNA sequencer appears to be nearly 50,000 years old, yet it has not broken down and appears to be fully powered. Aside from some dust and dirt and a small chemical deposit on the intake nozzle, this DNA replicator appears to be in the same condition that it was 50,000 years ago. Readings indicate that along with oxidation and dust, there is some organic residue in the crust-like buildup. A unique use of a phaser, but adequate for removing the deposits from the apparatus.
Greetings, gentle beings, and welcome. I am Azra of the Omegan people. You are the salvation we have long sought. Thank you for answering our summons.
An angel!
Actually, it is the projected image of an angel, Mr. Johns.
Jim, somewhere in that machine behind the portal are single-cell organisms. They have a healthy metabolism and a long lifespan, but an extremely low rate of reproduction.
The golden projection gives you a clear view of a lithe, sprightly figure of great beauty. Compassionate intelligence shines from its wide eyes.
This reminds me of the first time I saw them cloning Amoslovs at the Academy. It seemed like magic at the time, the fetuses growing into embryos, then developing into infants.
Life is a miracle, Captain.
This device contains genetic soup, Jim. Amino acids, proteins, the stuff of life itself.
This machine is a genetic bank, Captain. I suspect that the projection acts as a fail-safe mechanism that will surrender samples of the genetic code for sequencing and replication when the mechanism is willing.
We need to do everything we can to preserve the lives of these angelic creatures.
This device contains genetic soup, Jim. Amino acids, proteins, the stuff of life itself.
This casing is constructed from a duranium alloy and contains computer equipment, an image projector controlled from the keyboard, a communications relay, a genetic bank behind that porthole, and a slot with which to take samples from the genetic bank. The computer is quite sophisticated, Captain, with encoded engrams similar to Dr. Daystrom's M5 computer program, which would indicate artificial intelligence. computer is functional, but I detect no connection between the keyboard and the machine itself. Apparently, it was designed this way. Energy levels behind this glass are more than sufficient for having powered the distress signal we received. This projection is being cycled at 1,000 frames a second, which suggests the equipment was designed to function in the presence of a race that has a sharper visual acuity than the human or Vulcan races.
The enclosure behind this porthole is teeming with life. Billions and billions of creatures. There's something wrong with the piece of his genetic code that controls reproduction. I've never seen such a low reproductive rate in an organism that's this simple.
So where's the emergency? Greetings, I am James T. Kirk of the USS Enterprise. What can we do for you? All right, I know you're just a projection. Let's speak with your real masters. Greetings, I am James T. Kirk of the...
I am Azra of the Omegan people, an ancient and venerable race which labors to prevent the domination of this world by the forces of darkness. We require you to expunge this place of our mortal enemies.
Captain, the most worthwhile purpose in life is to fight against the forces of darkness. We must help him.
Enemies? This world is so barren that all the life on it is located right here. If you have mortal enemies, we've not seen them. Who are you talking about? Our Prime Directive prohibits us from taking part in wars on one side or the other. It would be seen as intervention. We are willing to negotiate a compromise. You will forgive me if I don't fall for a pretty face. I'm not about to expunge anyone. And I will take no action until I've heard both sides of the story. Enemy, our Prime Directive.
You imperil your soul by conversing with the enemy, that sugar-tongued Vizsla. I cannot protect you, but I do not imagine I can dissuade you either. Go, do what you must. I do not have that much time, but will be here if you seek to comply with my request.